You don't notice it at first, because if you did, it wouldn't work. It starts small, almost invisible, like something slightly off in your routine that you can't fully explain. One night, you're sitting in your room doing the same thing you always do, scrolling on your phone, not really paying attention to anything. Everything feels normal, too normal. That's why you ignore it. You put your phone down for a second and look around your room. Nothing unusual. Just your space, your things, your life. You go back to your phone, but something in your head tells you to look up again. You don't know why, you just do. You scan the room quickly, still nothing. You shake it off, probably just your imagination. That's what you tell yourself. The next day feels the same, routine, predictable, safe. But then it happens again. That same feeling, that subtle sense that something isn't right, not wrong, just not right. You pause for a second longer this time. You look around more carefully. Corners, windows, reflections. You don't find anything, but the feeling doesn't go away this time. It lingers. You try to ignore it again, but it sticks with you longer than it should. Later that night, you're on your phone again. Same habit, same scrolling, but now you're more aware, more alert. Every sound feels slightly louder. Every movement feels more noticeable. You glance at your door, closed. You glance at your window, nothing there. You glance at your reflection in the dark part of the screen. For a split second, it looks like something moved behind you. You turn instantly. Nothing. Your heart speeds up. You stare at the same spot for a few seconds. Still nothing. You laugh it off quietly, but it doesn't feel funny. It feels forced. You go back to your phone again, but now you're not really focused. You're just scrolling without seeing anything. Your brain is somewhere else, thinking, watching, waiting. The next day, you notice something small. Your phone is unlocked when you don't remember unlocking it. You stare at it for a second. You try to remember. Maybe you forgot. That happens sometimes. You lock it again. You move on. But later, it happens again. And this time, you're sure. You didn't touch it. You didn't unlock it. But it's open. That's when the feeling gets stronger. You don't panic. Not yet. But something shifts. You start paying attention to things you never noticed before. The way your apps are arranged, the way your phone reacts, the tiny details. You open your camera, nothing unusual. You close it. You put your phone down. A few seconds later, you pick it up again. And for a split second, you see it, the camera indicator. It turns on, then off, fast, too fast. You freeze. You stare at the screen. Nothing else happens. You wait. Still nothing. You tell yourself it's a glitch. It has to be, but your body doesn't believe it. Your heart is already racing. You feel it in your chest. You put your phone down slowly. You look around your room again. This time, slower, more carefully. Every corner, every shadow, everything feels slightly different now. Not because it changed, but because you're looking at it differently. That night, you don't feel comfortable. Not in your own room, not in your own space. You sit there in silence, listening, waiting for something, anything. You hear small noises, normal noises, but now they don't feel normal. You start questioning everything. You stand up and walk around your room. You check behind things, under things, nothing. You go back to your bed. You pick up your phone again. You hesitate before unlocking it. That hesitation wasn't there before. You unlock it anyway. Everything looks normal, but you don't feel normal. You open your front camera. You look at yourself. Then you look behind you through the screen. Nothing. Just your room. But something feels off. You don't trust what you're seeing anymore. The next day, you change your behavior without realizing it. You hold your phone differently. You angle it away from you. You cover parts of it. Small things, subtle things. You start closing doors you never used to close. You check locks more than once. You look at reflections more often. You're not relaxed anymore. You're aware, constantly. And that awareness is exhausting. You don't tell anyone, because how would you even explain it? It sounds ridiculous, even to you, but it doesn't feel ridiculous. It feels real, too real. That night, you sit in your room again, lights off, just your phone lighting your face. You're scrolling again, but slower this time, watching, waiting. And then it happens. Not subtle, not quick, clear. The camera indicator turns on, and it stays on. You stop moving completely. Your breath slows down. Your eyes stay locked on the screen. You don't touch anything. You don't press anything. But it's on. And in that moment, you realize something. This isn't a glitch. This isn't your imagination. This isn't nothing. Someone is watching you. And for the first time, you're not questioning it anymore. Level 1 is awareness. You don't act differently at first. You just notice more. Every movement feels slightly more important. Every sound feels like it means something. You keep your phone in your hand longer than usual. You don't leave it face down anymore. You keep checking it. Over and over, waiting for something to happen again, but nothing does. And that silence makes it worse, because now you're expecting it. Level 2 is observation. You start watching your phone the same way it might be watching you. You open apps slowly. You close them carefully. You pay attention to everything: the camera, the microphone, the small indicators you never cared about before. You start noticing tiny things: a slight delay, a small flicker, a movement that doesn't feel right. You tell yourself it's normal, but it doesn't feel normal. Level 3 is doubt. You start questioning yourself again. Maybe you imagined it. Maybe it really was just a glitch. You go back and forth in your head, trying to find a logical explanation, trying to calm yourself down. But deep down, you know what you saw. And that's what keeps you from fully believing your own excuses. Level 4 is testing. You decide to try something small. You cover your camera with your finger. You wait. Nothing happens. You remove your finger. You wait again. Still nothing. You feel slightly relieved, but also disappointed, because you don't know what's real anymore. You try something else. You open your camera app. You look around your room through the screen. Everything looks normal, but when you turn it off, something feels wrong again, like you missed something. Level 5 is paranoia. This is where it starts getting worse. You stop feeling safe in your own room. You start thinking about angles, about blind spots, about places something could hide. You look at reflections more carefully: windows, screens, dark surfaces. Sometimes you think you see something, a shape, a movement. But when you look directly, it's gone. And that makes it worse, because now your brain is filling the gaps. Level 6 is behavior change. You start acting differently without realizing it. You don't change clothes in front of your phone anymore. You turn it away from you. You put it in another room sometimes, but then you feel uncomfortable when it's not near you, like you need to see it, like you need to know what it's doing. You're trapped between wanting distance and needing control. Level 7 is intrusion. This is where it crosses the line. One night, you're scrolling again. Same position, same room, same silence, and your phone screen changes by itself. Not a glitch, not a flicker, a real change. An app opens, slowly, without you touching anything. You freeze instantly. Your hands stop moving. Your body goes still. You watch it happen. You don't breathe. The screen stays there for a second, then closes, by itself. Your heart is pounding now, loud, fast, real. You don't move for a few seconds. Then you slowly put the phone down, like it might react if you move too fast. Level 8 is fear, real fear. Not imagination, not discomfort, fear. You don't feel safe anymore. Not in your room, not with your phone, not even with yourself. You start sleeping differently. Lights on, phone turned off. Or at least you think it's off. You wake up randomly during the night, checking if it's still there, checking if it's still off. You don't trust anything anymore. Level 9 is confrontation. You decide to face it. You don't know why. Maybe you're tired of the fear. Maybe you want answers. You pick up your phone, slowly, carefully. You open the camera, front camera. You look at yourself. Then you speak, quietly. You ask a simple question. Who's there? Silence. Nothing happens at first. You almost feel stupid, but then something changes. The screen glitches, just for a second. And in that second, you see it. Not clearly, not fully, but enough. A shape behind you. Something that wasn't there before. You turn instantly. Nothing. You look back at your phone. Gone. But you know what you saw. Level 10 is realization. This is the worst part, because now you understand something you didn't before. It's not just your phone. It was never just your phone. The phone was just how you noticed. Whatever is watching you doesn't need it, and that thought stays with you, even when the screen is off, even when the room is empty, even when everything looks normal again, because now you know you weren't imagining it, and you're not alone.